Hey guys, Marty up north. Today I want to do a quick video. I'm going to call it a behind the scenes look at the equipment that I use when I'm videotaping on the trail. So I get a lot of questions about the equipment I use. I'm going to show you the equipment I use, and later on outside I'll show you some techniques. So the most important thing for me is the camera. So a lot of people have asked if I use a GoPro, and the answer is no. I use a it's actually a model, it's a Sony called the T77. It's actually a high definition camera, and some of the videos that I upload don't look like they're high definition. That's because I live out in the country, and sometimes I have to put them to a little bit of lower definition to be able to just upload them, because when I make an hour-long video, it's gonna be, it ends up being a 2 gigabyte video. So I like the Sony, this camera, for several reasons. One is it's compact, it's very small, and doesn't weigh a lot. But the other thing I like about it is that, well, it's a video camera, and it's also a still pictures. And actually, I like it so much that I have four of them. Actually, a couple are damaged. They get damaged. I can buy them online now for 30 or 40 bucks. So that's how much I like them. So a couple of reasons, actually many reasons why I like this camera. So like I said, I have several of them, but a couple of things I really like about the camera. First of all is the fact that it's lightweight. I also like the fact that it has a simple battery, and it's not a rechargeable camera. It doesn't have a built-in battery. It has an external battery. So on a typical trip, I'll bring 3-4 batteries. I even buy extra batteries online. When you have older equipment, accessories for older equipment is easier to find online, and it's cheap. So a battery like this will last me a good hour. And so if I bring 3 or 4 batteries, I got 3 or 4 hours of taping. And the other thing is battery life will be affected by the cold. So I like the fact that it has a removable battery. It also has a removable memory card. Now it's a proprietary Sony memory stick, but same thing. You can go online and I can find memory cards. So I'll bring extra cards on a trip. So I like that. The other thing I like is it's small, it's compact, so it weighs turn it on here. So 153 grams, you can't see it, but it's 153 grams, so it's very compact, very lightweight. And then I like a couple of things. So it's easy to use, so as soon as I can keep it in my pocket and I can use it. So I haven't used this one in a while. I'll just ignore the settings here for a second. Sorry folks. It's easy to use, so as soon as I turn it on, it's in ready mode. And I like the fact that it has a viewfinder. So after I take so it helps me when I set up my shot to see, and then I can review my shot as soon as I've videotaped something. In contrast, the GoPros, yeah, they're fantastic and everybody loves them because they have high resolution, but there's no screen on the back of a GoPro, so you're kind of taking a chance. Unless you're really, really good and you shoot a scene, you won't know what you've shot until you get back and you can take the card out. And then somebody says, well, bring an extra card reader. Well, that seems ridiculous. So I love the GoPros for some applications, but not for my hikes. So I bring a camera. Now the other thing that's important, bring the camera, bring some additional memory, bring the camera, bring some additional batteries. Sometimes I'll even bring a second camera on a trip, some additional memory, and then a couple of useful accessories. One very useful accessory is a little tripod. So this one is the first one I used for years. Very simple tripod. You can attach quickly the camera to the tripod. So that allows me to set up some shots where, you know, self-portraits and things like that. But this tripod's kind of interesting because it also has legs that extend. So it ends up being almost a selfie stick in a way. So good little tripod. I've used this one for years. You can see on the end here how I've wrapped some electrical tape that can be used for a few things. Now, lately, at Christmas a couple years ago, I got this new Gorilla tripod, I think it's called. And this one is really neat because it's flexible. So you'll see further in the video when I'm using it, how I can use it to attach the camera to things like a ski pole or a branch or something else. And this one has a clever device on there. I can leave the tripod attached. Sorry folks, I always struggle when I do these videos because you're not there's an unlock button right there. There you go. Sorry, it's a struggle when I do these videos because I'm holding the objects stretched out in front of me. But this way I can leave the head of the tripod on, and then I can quickly, you know, set it up any way I want. So this one's quite amazing. So there you go. Those are the things I bring. So I'll go outside and I'll show you all of this again, how I use it. A little behind the scenes here at Marty Up North. So that's my son Patrick, who's going to show what it looks like when I'm documenting a trip. So I've gotten quite good, well I think I have, at holding the camera in my hands like this. You often see me holding the camera like this, and then I'll point to something over there or some area, and I can pan around. So that's a technique. I mean, I'm sure I'm shaking a little bit, but I can't bring a ton of gear on the trip because I can't bring, you know, those gimbal devices or whatever. It's all stuff that weighs, so I have to be, you know, I have to be a minimalist when it comes to my good. Well, I think I have, at holding the camera in my hands like this. You often see me holding the camera like this, and then I'll point to something over there or some area, and I can pan around. So that's a technique. I mean, I'm sure I'm shaking a little bit, but I can't bring a ton of gear on the trip because I can't bring, you know, those gimbal devices or whatever. It's all stuff that weighs, so I have to be, you know, I have to be a minimalist when it comes to my gear. Another thing I'll do is I'll actually, if I want to extend my reach a little bit, I'll screw on a tripod, and then I'll extend the legs on the tripod, and that gives me just a little bit more reach. And what I like about this little camera is as soon as I turn it on, oh sorry, it's not recording. As soon as now it's recording, made a mistake there. So now I'm just gonna go for my walk. So I've gotten good at switching and going to a different perspective while I'm walking. So now I'm just gonna go for my walk. So I've gotten good at switching and going to a different perspective while I'm walking. So another perspective that I like, I do it quite often, is I'll set up a shot whereby I'm walking away or towards something. So right now, so now it's recording, and I'll use the walking away and the walking towards as two separate shots. So right now I'm walking away. And when I get to the end, I turn around and I'll edit this part, and this makes a different scene. Top of the morning. So now it's recording, and I'll use the walking away and the walking towards has two separate shots. So right now I'm walking away. When I get to the end, I turn around and I'll edit this part, and this makes a different scene. Top of the morning. So now I'm using a different tripod. I like this little tripod because I can attach it to objects. So let's say I got a tree like this. And now I will you know what? I've learned over time that even having a branch or something in the shot isn't always bad. Actually, this one's, here, I'll just go off of this. It's not perfect, but I'm doing it quickly to demonstrate. So now, this could be one neat shot, so it's a long pan of me walking across. And I come back and I retrieve the camera. Could be one neat shot, so it's a long pan of me walking across. Back and I retrieve the camera. Now, one of the reasons I like I said earlier, the reason I like this little camera is because it has a screen. So when I'm done shooting my scene, sometimes, especially if it's going to be a critical scene or something, you know, I can actually immediately review what I just shot. So right now I'm playing it back. So that scene looks good. So I'm comfortable and I'll keep it. But if I had a GoPro camera, with a GoPro you can't set the shot. So you don't know what you've truly shot until you get back home. Or some people suggest bringing another camera like this and taking the memory stick out of the GoPro and putting it in here, but now you're getting crazy. So this isn't the fisheye lens like a GoPro, but it's still a good enough quality. And like I said earlier, I can record very high quality, but the videos become so long when I do an hour-long video that when I load them on YouTube, they take forever to load. And I guess I should upgrade to some streaming video or some other technology, and I'll figure that out. But for now, I'm happy with this. And I mean, I'm looking for a bit of a rustic look. Sometimes I do panoramas. Where I am. Where I'm sitting down sometimes and I got my pack and I'm doing a bit of a monologue, so I need to put my whole body in the can. I can see the rock. These are the ones where not complicated. I just take a camera and a handful of batteries, you know, these little batteries, and I bring a tripod, a couple of things that don't weigh too much. And then I head off into the wilderness and I document my trip. So hope this gives you a little bit of insight into how I do my videos. It's really not that complicated. So these are the ones where, so it's not complicated. I just take a camera and a handful of batteries, you know, these little batteries, and I bring a tripod, a couple of things that don't weigh too much, and then I head off into the wilderness and I document my trip. So hope this gives you a little bit of insight into how I do my videos. It's really not that complicated. Holding the camera like this, and then I'll point to something over there or some area, and I can pan around. So that's a technique. I mean, I'm sure I'm shaking a little bit, but I can't bring a ton of gear on the trip because I can't bring, you know, those gimbal devices or whatever. It's all stuff that weighs, so I have to be, you know, I have to be a minimalist when it comes to my gear. Morning. It's not complicated. I just take a camera and a handful of batteries, you know, these little batteries, and I bring a tripod, a couple of things that don't weigh too much, and then I head off into the wilderness and I document my trip. So hope this gives you a little bit of insight into how I do my videos. It's really not that complicated. Enjoying a beautiful day out with my middle son, Patrick. Patrick, what do you think of Dad's Marty up north idea? Not your style? What do you prefer, video games?
No.
Do you like hiking?
Yeah.
Yeah? What, are you shy?
Prefer boxing.
Prefer boxing, oh, okay. Anything to stay fit, anything's better than playing video games.